Hi, everybody. Rafael Grossford, NLC2. It's been a while since I did an update, so I want to get right to it. Yes, that is LA back there, beautiful LA at night. And let's get right to it. So we're going to share. We're going to go to my favorite screens here, and we can see that we've got nice participation with baseball and also with basketball. We've had the single game setup, which has been very successful, and people like it a lot because you get into the game, you either win, lose, and it happens in a single game. So that's very exciting. It also worked really good in NFL. So it's definitely a trend that we're going to continue. We're going to follow. We're going to expand it, and we're very happy with it. The peer-to-peer is operational. Now, in the United States, it only operates for play chips, but outside the United States, it operates for NLC2 also. And this is basically the prelude to entry into the sports betting market. I mean, this is going to be part of our model. We're also going to come in with a traditional sportsbook model, but we're going to combine with our own content as well as lease content. Similarly to poker, we lease poker, and the whole fantasy platform's our own code. So it's a combination, and that way we can grow faster. But the peer-to-peer is very important. You can see here we've got a couple of basketball games. We can pick whatever game we want, and we can set a line. You can negotiate the line. You send the challenge to whoever you want. Even if they're not on the platform, you can email it to them, and it's going to arrive to them in the form of an email that'll say, you have been challenged. So it's a very interesting way to challenge your friends, get them involved when they're not involved, or if they are involved. So we're definitely pursuing peer-to-peer, and now with the opening of straight sports betting across the United States, this is going to be very, very important in addition to fantasy sports. We have, of course, poker. Let's see. So, yeah, I was registered in there. I wanted to play a hand or two when I was doing this video, but let's just see what happens here. And there's a couple of people playing. They're down to a few players. Let's see what happens. We'll check out one hand. You can see we've got table chat, we've got global chat, and people. Okay. Here's a link to a table, so people say, "Hey, come over here, play with me." There's a seat open or something like that. So somebody's all in. Let's see what he's got. Is he gonna call? Yes. King, queen. He hit his queen. Oh, another queen. No flush. No straight. Bam. King, queen takes it. Huge. Knocked out him. There's choice. Mr. Takei from Star Trek, I think, right? All right. On. I know I could stay there. I wanted to also show you guys the dollar peg. It's going to be very, very nice. We're still tweaking it. We're making sure there's limits. It's going to be capped at $1,000, a certain percentage per week, up or down. It's going to be a very original solution to that issue. So essentially, you just check the box. You put in the amount of NLC2 that you want to peg to the dollar, and it'll allow you to do it based on your play. So if you play, it'll extrapolate those numbers and say, yes, you qualify. So if you play enough, you get to do that. But it also affects you if it goes up, right? If the coin goes up, then you get less coin. But you could hedge your coin that way and put part of it in there. So it's going to be a very nice solution. We're still working on it. This is a dummy page, obviously. Look at the price. So this is going to be out at some point. We still need a few weeks for this until we tweak everything, but we're definitely working on it. The app is something very nice, very important that we're ready to put out, and we're going to put it out exclusively with soccer, with football. That's how Europe calls it, right? And so for my European friends, I'm not saying soccer, I'm saying football. And there's no NFL right now, so all the NFL people are hibernating right now, in a way. We're acting like we enjoy everything, but we're really all waiting for the NFL. No, we love NBA and MLB. I love baseball. I love it. All right. So here's soccer. Here's the app. Looks nice, just like everything. The app's been tested. It's been working. We're going to deploy it already. It's going to be the beta. Is going to be soccer, and then we're going to shoot for NFL. And that's really our big moment. So this is going to be ready very soon. It works great. We've been tweaking it, so we're happy with that. We've been talking about eSports. We're already looking at the feeds. We're figuring out what kind of bets we want to come up with. You've seen the peer-to-peer. We're going to set up those models also, and a combination of fantasy and just straight betting. So we're definitely following that whole eSports movement. We don't want to miss that boat. We definitely want to get in there. We want to expose a lot of people from that world to our coin, and we want to create games for them, including private contests, which nobody's doing yet. Everybody's just betting on the huge games, on the huge professionals, and there's millions of dollars already changing hands there, but nobody's allowing private leagues to go in and just basically, there's private and they're manual, but I'm talking about in a way where we're thinking about it. So that's a big deal. Let's see. This thing is, sorry about that. Okay. I just wanted to also show you suddenly, you remember what happens. DraftKings and FanDuel come on the scene, we're sitting there kind of, with the right messages, myself trying to chase that market. And with the whole regulation that suddenly swooped in because everybody thought they were just making so much money on fantasy, then everything got a little depressed, and a lot of people got chased out of the industry because they thought, oh, that's the end. And now with the approval of online sports betting, it just changed everything 180 degrees. Now they're talking about 150 billion in terms of the size of the market. You've got 236 million invested by Fox into Stars Group, the Poker Stars people, so they can develop the sports version of the platform. So there's a lot of money that's going to want to come into the space, and we want to be there. And you can see here, this is really, I follow this a lot. It's called Legal Sports Report. You could read it too. And basically you can see all the states that have laws moving through their legislatures. There's already 7 states that have sports laws on the books, but it's 10, 15, 20 grand each. And it's, that's where the money from the raise is basically gonna be focused on, right? Getting through all these states, getting registered, doing deals with casinos in all of those states, because that's how that works. You have to do a deal with the casinos in most places. And you can see here all the states that have bills running through their legislature. So everybody's chasing the gambling money, and they're basically saying, hey, open arms, come over here. So we want to go there. We want to be ready, but that's where we're headed, and that's why we're gonna go out and do the raise. Here's the private placement document that we've been working on, and it's gonna be, the executive summary is gonna be out shortly, as well as the full package for qualified or certified investors. And we're very excited about being able to raise the needed money so we can get into all the areas that we want to do. And of course, the ultimate circle, what's going to complete us is being able to have that debit card in our hand. I want to put that card in your hand that is backed by NLC2, potentially maybe a dollar coin in there, so you could go back and forth, or Bitcoin itself, and you could go back and forth from one coin to another, or at least be able to use it across the world or through ATM. So I understand that, because the day that we can give a debit card to a player on our platform, that's it. That's when the coin becomes more useful than any other coin on the planet. You've got it in your hand. You can gamble with it. You can gamble in multiple properties with it, and you don't even have to move it, because you have it right in your card. And the solution is there. It's right here, Intercash, and it's $100,000. So all of these things add up, and that's why we want to come in with a war chest to come in terms of all of the things we need to do, enter into all the states, get this card ready, get everything, get into more exchanges, create a more stable situation for the coin, all of those things. We're also looking at a betting, or basically a sports book lease software, a white label software. So we're going to combine our original material with lease, so that way we can grow and go into all those states and basically come in with something that's already working, operational, etc. So we're talking to different providers, just like we do with poker, and eventually that's also a step that we want to take. We're going to update our timeline. We're going to update the dates on where we're going to deliver everything. So and I'll be at Consensus, of course, next week in New York, as well as at the NASDAQ site to record the show that eventually is going to air on Fox. So that should be pretty good. And Dan set up a meeting with, thank you for that, with the Steam Engine people, and we're already working on integrating NLC2 into Steam Engine. So we're working on the code. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get it in there. So and then people say, well, what are you going to use the funds for, right? So you saw all the states we need to get through. We just need to throw money at everything and then keep compliance, which is also expensive. But then the flip side of that is the size of those markets, and they've got 3, 4, and even 5% margins on everything. So the margins are huge. And so in terms of what are the use of funds, of course, licensing is essentially number one. A dollar fund, essentially, to create that dollar peg. So that would be the best dollar peg would be to actually have dollars, backing that up. So that would help it a lot and help the coin also. And of course, lease a sportsbook, expand our staff, and principally cost of acquisition. That's really what we need. That's all that is left for us. We have the platforms are operating. We've proven that there's millions of coins moving in and out. The numbers are always growing there. There's many millions already inside the platforms, essentially, which is a very positive thing. The more in there, the better. And that's where we want to take everything. Okay, so excuse me. All right, so the team Philly D is our man for fantasy in the U.S. Danny is the man for soccer. Gravy for poker. These are their handles in Slack, so you could find everybody. I mean, we're all always there. Everybody's checking for messages for themselves. So even on their first name, you could find them. Erman, he's our social media guy. He's very good, doing a great job. We've got our devs, Pranav and Dharmesh in India with their team. They're doing a great job. James Stroud, of course, the CEO of Stealth, also our consultant. Sooner, okay, I chat with him a lot, a little bit, and said he would do a call with me. So that'll be exciting. Oscar's working on lining up the VCs and all the people that we're going to pitch to, because there's actually going to be a big group of people, because all these VC companies got together, they got ready, they come after the crypto projects, and it actually shrunk the amount of exciting crypto projects. So I feel lucky to actually have such a robust and operational project, and that's where we are right now. So the summary is, we got to get ready for NFL next season. We have to be ready with the app, with a big marketing budget, and that's it. That's really what it is. So everything's on track, and now it's time to go out and acquire the funds to really be able to expand to the level that we want to reach. But at this point, regardless of the price of the coin, which of course we all want it to be higher, the platforms are working great. The coins are coming in and out flawlessly, frictionlessly. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you very much for your time. I love doing this. I'm sure I went over the amount of time that I expected to do. So sorry about that. Okay, bye. And I'll be giving you guys updates from New York.